Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Anas Rafika. Today our group will be presenting a topic under Western ideology, and that is rationalism. So I'll start with the introduction. I'll give you a quick overview what rationalism really is. Rationalism is a philosophical view that says the structure of the universe and human minds are closely connected. Reason, the ratio in rationalism guides both what can be exist in the world and what can be taught by humans. If this view is true, several important ideas follows. It means that anything we can conceive is possible. Nothing in the universe is beyond our knowledge, and logical relation in our mind are actually reflect on real relations in the world. In short, rationalism holds that the human mind itself cons- uh, human mind itself contains the key to understanding the ultimate reality, and by looking inward, we can discover the deepest truth.
And now I'll be presenting about the concept and historical development of rationalism. The founder of rationalism is Rene Descartes, known for his phrase, "I think, therefore I am." The period to where this spread is the 17th and 18th century in the age of enlightenment and scientific revolution. The places where this spread is mainly Western Europe, especially France, Netherlands, and Germany. Now for the factors leading to the development of rationalism. The first factor is the reaction to scholasticism. Medieval philosophy relied heavily on religious authority, so the rationalists wanted to base knowledge on reason rather than faith. The second factor is in the rise of science. Discoveries by Galileo and Newton encouraged the use of logic and critical thinking. The third factor is intellectual curiosity. The Enlightenment promoted human reasoning, skepticism.
My name is Rashada, and I will explain about characteristics and principles of rationalism. So the first one is reason source of knowledge. Rationalism believes that true knowledge comes from thinking, reasoning, rather than relying only on what we experience through our senses. The second one is innate idea. So humans are believed to be born with a certain idea or knowledge already in their mind, such as logic and moral understanding. And the third one is deductive logic, which is rationalists use logical reasoning to find the truth, starting from general idea, applying them to specific cases. Number 4 is doubt of the senses. The sense can sometimes sometimes deceive us. So rationalists trust reason more than what we see, what we feel, and what we hear. Number 5 is universal truth. Some truths like mathematics and logic are universal and never change, no matter how and when. So number 6 is focus on the mind. Rationalism values the human mind as the key to discovering truth, solving problems, and making wise decisions.
Thank you to my groupmate for their input. Assalamualaikum to my fellow classmate and lecturer. My name is Nuridina Amani, and today we're going to discuss about the impact of rationalism have towards us as a human. So, as my groupmate mentioned earlier, rationalism is when your action is basing on reason or logic rather than religion or traditional value. So, what does impact of rationalism have towards us as a human? So, the first and the most obvious impact of rationalism have is its influence on modern science. The philosophy thought that reason and logic could reveal the universe's truth. So this encouraged more people to study and understand the nature or the universe through science. As we can see nowadays, a lot of people study modern physics, astronomy, and we can see this subject are at rise. And a lot of people actually excel in this field. So during the 70s and 80s centuries, this mindset also supported scientific revolution key figures such as Sir Isaac Newton, the famous physicist who discovered gravity to explore the nature and the universe through science. And as a result, it improved human life and also expand human understanding toward the universe and the nature. However, when However, this also have a downside, as Nelson mentioned in his book, as science and technology are at rise, religion and traditional value being overlooked. So the second impact rationalism have towards us as a human, it's rationalism have reshaped humanity as how we organize our society. So rationalism were the base idea of enlightenment ideals that were introduced during 70s and 80s centuries. And this idea promoted equality, independency, and also demanded religion should be separated from the government. And if we read an article, we watch the news, or we keep up with social media, a lot of people and a lot of government are already separated the way the government from religion, and also a lot of people demand that their government should be separated from the religion. So one of the famous philosophers, John Locke, also applied this applied this idea to the social organization, and also argued that government should be based on reason and not religion or traditional value. So in summary, we can deny that rationalism have benefits us in some ways. It helps us to think more clearly and encourage scientific progress, also supported the development democracy. But however, when rationalism are at rest, religion are being overlooked. But as a human, we need to remember that true wisdom comes when reason are guided by faith. Therefore, the challenge for us as a human is not to reject reason or logic, but to balance it with faith so that we can uncover, so we can reveal the truths better and understand the nature or universe better. So thank you for listening. So that's all. Thank you from me, and I'm going to pass the next slide to my next groupmate.
So here comes the next part. Rationalism has both strengths and weaknesses, and understanding this balance is important for our faith. On the positive side, Islam encourages the use of intellect. Allah invites us to reflect on His creation, as in Surah Al-Imran ayah 119. Rationalism also promotes knowledge and critical thinking. The Prophet ﷺ said that seeking knowledge is an obligation. So this pushes men to learn, analyze, and observe the world around them. So acquiring knowledge can be a form of worship if they are done with the right intention. Another strength is rational thinking can inspire towards scientific and intellectual progress in Islamic civilization. The Muslim has explored medicine, astronomy, mathematics, and many more, because the Quran encourages us to observe the heaven and the earth, as in Surah Yunus ayah 101. But rationalism has its limit. If you rely only on logic and ignore the spirituality, the heart becomes blind, as Allah warns us in Surah Al-Hajj ayah 46. Islam teaches us that the truth can be understood if we use both the mind and the heart. Next, rationalism can also make people neglecting revelation if they are rely only on their intellect. Even though Prophet ﷺ told us to hold firmly to the Quran and Sunnah. And the last one, without humility, relying too much on our intellect can cause people to be arrogant and denial of dependence on Allah. Surah Al-Alaq ayat 6 and 7 has reminded us about this, that humans tend to be arrogant when they see themselves as self-sufficient. So the conclusion is simple. Islam doesn't reject reason, it guides it. True understanding comes when intellect works together with revelation with a humble heart. In conclusion, rationalism greatly influenced modern science and politics by emphasizing human reason as the key to knowledge. It influenced the scientific revolution and enlightenment, encouraging logical thinking and discoveries. However, its focus on intellect alone often neglected spirituality and divine guidance. From an Islamic perspective, reason is indeed a gift from Allah SWT, but it must work in harmony with revelation to achieve true understanding. Therefore, the best form of knowledge is one that balances intellect and faith, using reason to appreciate the signs of Allah in creation while remain guided by the Quran and Sunnah. Rationalism reminds humanity of the value of thoughts and inquiries, while Islam completes that pursuit by grounding reason in spiritual truth and humility before the Creator. Thank you.
So, okay, rationalism. What do you guys think it's really about, like in real life?
I think it's just using your brain before believing stuff, like questioning things instead of blindly trusting them.
Yeah, exactly. Especially now with social media, everyone posting the truth. But sometimes it makes zero sense.
Totally, like those miracle life hacks. Do this and your life will change instantly. Like, come on, seriously?
Yeah, if it were that easy, we'd all be millionaires by now.
Right? Rationalism makes you stop and think, like, wait, does this actually make sense?
Even in normal stuff, we also use rationalism. For example, when we decide to buy a phone, we check the review, the specs, and also the prices.
Yes, instead of just grabbing the trendiest one, just because it looks cool.
When we choose which cafe to go to, if you're rational, you check the price, reviews, distance, instead of just following someone else.
Exactly, makes you feel like a serious adult sometimes.
In school, we literally use it all the time. Math problems, science experiments, logic all the way.
Yeah, scientists basically a professional rationalists. They don't just guess.
And even in essay, you need to explain your point with reasoning, not just because I feel like it.
Right. That's why rationalism is so powerful. It's literally how we understand the world.
But sometimes people overdoing it. Like logic is great, but ignoring emotions can be harsh.
Exactly, you can be right logically, but if you're cold about it, it can hurt someone. Logic alone itself isn't enough.
Yeah, being smart isn't the same as being kind.
So true, balance is key.
And in Islam, we are taught to use reason, but also follow guidance, values, and faith. So rationalism alone isn't enough.
Yeah, we gotta balance it with morality and wisdom. It cannot be all brain power.
Exactly. Logic plus faith equal to complete understanding.
Okay, imagine like someone says, you wear this bracelet and your problem is that will disappear.
A rationalist would ask, how does that work? Where's the proof?
Exactly. Think before believing it. Don't just nod and buy.
That's basically everyday life now.
So, rationalism teaches clear thinking.
But we also need faith and feelings to make wise decisions.
And when you combine all of that, you get smarter, kinder, and more grounded choices.
Yeah, it's like you're using your brain and your heart at the same time.
Exactly, balance is everything. Reason, value, and faith all together.
Yay!